Mosquitoes can live off nectar or honeydew, but females need to drink blood to get the proteins and iron they need to produce eggs. It's a dangerous job as their prey is usually thousands of times larger than them and can easily kill them. But it's a job at which they've been excelling for millions of years. To find prey, they use their vision, heat sensors, and chemoreception. Basically, they look for warm, moving bodies that produce carbon dioxide. They can follow a plume of carbon dioxide to its source until it finds a nice landing spot with exposed skin. Then it's time for the proboscis to work its magic. Though it may seem like a simple single needle, it's actually a sophisticated mechanism with a chemoreceptive organ and 6 separate needles, protected by a sheath or mantle. The chemoreceptive organ is called the labium. It looks for chemicals in the skin such as lactic acid and sugars in order to find the best place to bite. Ideally, they want to be as close to a blood vessel as possible. Then, 2 serrated needles called maxillae pierce the skin, and 2 other needles called mandibles hold the hole open. Then the mosquito inserts its other 2 needles. One of them, the hypopharynx, injects an analgesic and an anticoagulant to prevent the victim from noticing the bite and its blood from clotting. The other needle, the labrum, sucks the blood. It might take a couple of tries and a bit of probing until the mosquito finds the blood vessel. This reminds me of most of my visits to the doctor. As the blood fills the mosquito's abdomen, the mosquito filters out the water from the blood so that it can pack more nutritious red blood cells. Once it's full, the mosquito will leave, having almost tripled its weight. The itching and swelling comes later, as the prey's immune system kicks in and sends antibodies to go and destroy the remains of the mosquito's saliva. At this point, the mosquito is ready to lay eggs. The specific location depends on the species and the environment. It can range from ponds to mud to pitcher plants. The eggs come in a variety of shapes, but are most commonly laid as egg rafts in clutches of up to 300 eggs. 1 or 2 days later, they hatch as larvae, or wrigglers. They can immediately swim and hunt small animals in the water column. They're entirely aquatic, but swim up to the surface to breathe through their respiratory siphon, a small tube at the end of their tail. And yes, they breathe through their butts. After 2 weeks, they pupate. The comma-shaped pupae are known as tumblers. They can still swim, but they stop eating for up to 4 days. During this period, they breathe through 2 breathing tubes called trumpets. When the mature mosquito emerges from the water, it will first look for nectar for sustenance. But their life is so short, they only live for between 4 and 6 weeks, and they immediately switch gears to reproduction. They go cruising for a bruising. Most mosquitoes only get 1 blood meal in their life. Those who bite multiple people are the ones who spread disease. If a mosquito bites an infected person, it can host their viruses and bacteria, and if it bites another person, it can transmit those pathogens. It's essentially like sharing needles.